Hello, and welcome to our BoldTrail BackOffice Day in the Life of an Admin. This session will cover everything you need to maximize your efficiency in the back office. We will cover everything from creating transactions to transaction management. We will show you how to utilize BoldTrail BackOffice checklists to make documents and eSignature a breeze, and how to review documents that have been submitted for compliance. We will deep dive into managing transaction commissions and generating commission disbursement authorizations. We will also show you how to easily manage your day and your agent's day using the calendar feature. We will start off today's training with transactions. It's essential to understand how to create transactions so you can better manage transactions. Let's get started. When creating a new transaction, ensure you are in the Transactions tab under Overview. Next, select the Create Transaction button here. When we get to our new transaction page, you'll notice there are 3 steps to creating a transaction. This is the first step. It's essential to begin by filling out the 3 drop-down options along the top. The first option is Type. This is where you select the type of transaction you are creating, whether it's a commercial deal, a traditional sale, a rental, or maybe a short sale. I'll select a traditional sale. Next is Status. BoldTrail BackOffice offers 3 statuses when first creating a transaction. First is Opportunity. Opportunity is used when an agent represents either the buyer or the seller, but has not yet secured the listing or received an accepted offer from the buyer. This building block allows the agent to initiate the process and store important documents such as buyer agreements, brokerage agreements, or to submit offers for their buyers. Next status is Active. Active status is used for your active listings that are on the market. Then, Pending. Pending status is used for any transaction that is under contract and awaiting closing. In this example, the agent is working with the seller and will select Active. The last setting is for Representing. Use this menu to choose whom the agent represents on this new transaction. You can choose buyer, seller, or both if they represent both sides. We'll choose seller in this example. Now, since the agent represents the seller, and we chose a status of Active, the property address fields, and possibly other fields will be required. Required fields are highlighted in red. In step 1, it is important to fill in as much field information as possible, understanding that there are other additional fields that can be accessed by clicking here. After filling in all required fields, milestone dates, and other information, press the Next button. Step 2 is the Agents and Commissions screen. This screen is used to set up the representation for this active transaction. I can see right away that the brokerage represents the listing side, so the first thing I need to do is add the agent or agents that represents this listing side by pressing the Add Agent/Commission option. Then select Add Agent. Begin typing in the agent name you want to add to the listing side. As you type, drop-down options will appear matching the name you are typing. Use the drop-down to select the appropriate agent. Once selected, we can see available commission plans for this agent. Choose the appropriate plan for this transaction, then press Save. Great! We've added our agent and we can see that they are receiving 100% of this listing, which will be calculated through their commission plan later. It's important that you do not change this 100% if there is only one agent. If we were to add a second agent, these fields would be used to split the gross commission between them. Now, we need to enter the gross listing commission here. This can be a percent of the sale price, or you can enter in a dollar amount. Leaving this blank will mean all commission participants make $0, so be sure this field gets completed. This is a 3% listing, so I will add it. In the top section, called Total Gross Commission, you will also want to enter a gross commission amount. Most brokerages populate it with the total gross amount represented by the brokerage. If we only represent the listing, this would be 3%, but if we represented both sides, we would enter the total commission of both sides. I will enter 3% here as well. At this time, we are able to press the Next button to continue to step 3. But if my brokerage did represent the buy side, I could also select it and add the agents that represent the buying side as well. Now, let's continue. Step 3. In this important step, we will add any important contacts to the transaction. These contacts can be sellers, buyers, title, or escrow officer A, and more. We want to at least add the seller, so I'll press the Add Contact option here. Now, I will choose a contact role from the drop-down menu. I want to add the seller, so I will select that. I now have a place to enter the seller's name, so I will begin typing it in. As I type, I can choose a matching name from the drop-down list. If no matching names appear, I will need to select the Create New option to add a new contact. Creating a contact is simple. Start by filling out the essential fields, ensuring you at least enter a first name and last name to save the contact. If the contact is a business, be sure to split the business name into first and last names. After entering the necessary information, remember to select whether the contact should be private, only accessible by you, or public, accessible to everyone in the brokerage for future use. The selection you choose will be the default setting for the next contact you create as well. Now that we have filled out the contact information, we can press the Create button to add this contact to our transaction. Great, we've successfully added the seller contact. Remember, you can add as many contacts as needed to any transaction. Simply press the Add Contact option and follow the same process. Let's press the Create button to finish adding our listing to BoldTrail BackOffice. Congratulations! We've created our first listing. Now, let's learn how to navigate the essential areas of the transaction. First, we can see all of the transaction field information that we created in step 1 here. Below that, we can see all users and contacts that are related to this transaction. And on the left-hand side, we can navigate different transaction features. Let's begin with the Edit button here. This Edit button is essential for keeping your transactions up to date. First, the Edit option is used when we need to update any transaction fields. Fields like price, acceptance date, closing date, or any other available fields. Below that, you can see other available transaction statuses. Use the Edit button to switch active transactions to pending, pending to closed, or even canceled if a deal falls out. Next, create a copy. This allows you to quickly duplicate this transaction and even capture any documents and contacts you want to be added to the new transaction. This is helpful if you accept an offer on this listing, then later we lose the buyer. We can quickly cancel this listing, then create a copy, transferring all of our listing paperwork, the new listing. Next, in the checklist section, you can quickly add a checklist to the transaction. Once you have a checklist added, the Documents section will separate document tasks from action tasks, allowing you to see all your documents in one place. The Offer section in BoldTrail BackOffice adapts based on your representation in a transaction. For the listing side, it generates a publishable URL, enabling buyer agents to submit offers directly, which you can manage within BoldTrail BackOffice. On the buying side, it streamlines the process for creating buyer offers, obtaining buyer signatures, and sending offers to co-op listing agents, ensuring quick and accurate submissions. The Users and Contacts screen lets you manage your transaction contacts seamlessly. You can add or remove contacts and even generate and send emails, making communication and contact management efficient and centralized. The Commissions section is used to view and update commission payouts, generate agent commission statements, CDAs, and to post commissions to the general ledger. The Activity section provides a comprehensive log of all transaction updates, capturing actions such as emails sent, documents added or removed, and other modifications. Each entry records the specific action, the user responsible, and the exact date and time, offering a clear and detailed history of the transaction's activity. Now that we've reviewed the key features for navigating a transaction, let's add a checklist and learn how to upload documents, send forms for eSignature, and more. Understanding how an agent utilizes checklists will be invaluable when managing them in the future. I'll select the Add option here and add the listing checklist to get started. To begin working on the checklist, it's important to understand that there are 2 different task types in BoldTrail BackOffice. The first type is a document task, signified by the document logo next to the task name. These tasks require you to either upload a document or use eSignature to complete a document. Additionally, each document task has an exempt button here. You can use this when a task on your checklist isn't applicable to the current transaction you are working. This exemption request will be reviewed by your compliance team and either be approved or possibly rejected, making the task required to complete. Next, we have action tasks, identified by the checkboxes next to each task name. Action tasks are meant to be checked off once you have completed the action and you cannot upload documents or use eSignature from action tasks. It's time to complete some of the document tasks. Notice to the right of each task there is either an Upload button or a Use Forms button. Tasks with the Use Forms button can simply be clicked and the necessary documents will be automatically loaded so you can send them for eSignature. Tasks with the Upload button can be clicked and you will be prompted to upload the appropriate form to the task. I'll click the Use Forms button on my listing packet task first. I can now see the forms that have been assigned to this task. Keep in mind that you are able to remove forms that you don't want to send by clicking the X next to the form name. And you can add more forms to this packet using the Add More Forms feature here. Once I have the correct forms, I will press Next so we can configure the signers on the eSignature packet. We can see that my signers were auto-populated because I added these contacts when creating my transaction. You can modify these signers or add additional signers if needed. I can also designate a signer order by selecting the Assign Signer Order checkbox here. The area below, called Other Parties, can be used to populate other contacts' information on your eSignature document. These contacts are not signers and will not receive any request to sign. Once the signers are configured, we can proceed to our forms by pressing Next. When preparing your forms for eSignature, BoldTrail BackOffice will auto-populate many fields using transaction information, users and contacts information, and brokerage information. Any additional fields will need to be filled out manually prior to sending, and BoldTrail BackOffice provides an array of forms tools you can utilize here. If you are preparing a form to send but don't have time to complete it, you can always use the Save and Close option here to save your progress. You can return at any time and begin where you left off. Once your forms are prepared, select the drop-down arrow here to proceed. We can choose to send the packet for eSignature, or we can download or print this completed document if we prefer to get a wet signature. Let's select Send for eSign. This last step, before sending forms for eSignature, allows us to modify the signer section one last time if necessary. We can also CC recipients here. A CC recipient will receive a copy of these documents after they have been fully executed. Any signers on these forms will automatically receive a fully executed copy as well, so there's no need to CC any signers. I can also customize both the email subject and body here. Lastly, I will press the Send button to send these forms for eSignature. We can now see my task has a strike-through, and to the right, a status showing that we are waiting for signers to execute the document. I can keep track of my signers' progress here in the eSignature drop-down. Once a signer has either viewed or executed the forms, the sent status will update accordingly. Also, notice the three-dot menu next to each signer. I can use this feature to either resend my eSignature request or send it to a different email address if needed. There's also a Restart eSign option here. Use this feature if you need to make corrections to your forms. You can quickly access the forms as you last sent them, make corrections, and resend them for eSignature. This important tool allows for quick adjustments as many times as needed. Now, let's move to the next task down. This task has an Upload button that I can use to upload a document from my computer. You can still complete this task using eSignature if needed by simply pressing the Use Forms option on the right. This will allow you to choose any association forms or library forms available and send them for eSignature. I'll go ahead and upload a document to this task. The next task is an action task that I will check off once I have installed my yard sign on the property. Let's go ahead and complete this task as well. Great. Now that we've covered how to complete your checklist tasks, let's look at some other great features you can use to help manage your transaction documents. We'll first navigate to Documents here. Then select the new option that appears, Unsorted. The unsorted folder is your working folder where you can manage documents prior to assigning them to your checklist tasks. You can drag and drop bulk documents from your computer to quickly upload them into your transaction. You can also pull documents into your transaction using our DocuSign integration by selecting Pull from DocuSign within the Add Document menu. Once you have documents in your unsorted folder,